So we are working on topic 2.5, function composition. We're going to work through examples 5 to 6 now. So the difference between these and the first four is that now we're substituting in a number, so into the function. So I've got g of f of 8. And we always work from the back front. So this says, first of all, I need to plug 8 into f. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to go ahead and just indicate that right here. So I'm going to find f of 8. So I'm going to go to my f function, and I'm going to write out negative. I'm going to put parentheses, squared, plus 1. Okay, I am going to substitute that 8 into there. So now I have negative, and just be careful because that negative is actually outside the squared. 8 squared is 64 plus 1. So that means I have negative 63. And now I'm going to take what I got, my f of 8, and that, since this is f of 8, I'm going to substitute it in for f of 8 here. So that means I have g of negative 63 equals, I'm going to take the g function, and instead of the x, I am going to put in the negative 63. So 2 times negative 63 would be negative 126 plus 5, which is negative 121. Okay, let's look at another one here together. I'm sorry if I try to squish it in. I'm sorry I did not give you enough space here. Maybe my handwriting is just gigantic. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to do g of 1 first because it says I'm taking 1 and I'm negative 1 and I'm plugging it into g. So I'm going to do that off to the side. So g of negative 1 equals, I'm going to take my g function. Instead of writing the x, I'm going to write parentheses, and I'm going to substitute the negative 1 in. So we get negative 3 minus 2, which is negative 5. Since I know the negative 5 is what g of 1 equals, I'm going to substitute that in. Okay? So I have f of negative 5. So I'm going to take that and plug it into my f function. So that means I have 2 times parentheses minus 3. For the parentheses, we're going to put in a negative 5. So 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Minus 3 would be negative 13. All right, we're going to try it again. So this one says I have g of h of 6. So I'm going to take the 6 and plug it into the h function first. So I'm going to do that work off to the side. So I'm going to do h of 6 equals, I'm going to write out my h function, and instead of the x, I'm going to write parentheses. I'm going to take the 6 and plug it in. So we get 6 squared, which is 36, plus 1, which is 37. Now that I know that h of 6 is 37, I'm going to substitute that in. So we've got g of 37 equals, I'm now going to plug that 37 into my g function. So negative, parentheses for the x, minus 5. I'm going to plug in the negative, or the 37. And you'll notice that it's just going to be negative 37. The parentheses really don't help or hurt here. So that's going to be negative, let's see, 7 plus 5 is 12, right? Let's just make sure. 42. Okay. All right, let's try another one here. So this is saying I'm taking 6 and plugging it into g first. So g of 6 equals, I'm going to take this function, put parentheses for my x, minus 1. Plug in my x value of 6. Okay. So 6 minus 1 is 5. I now know that 5 is the same as g of 6, so I'm going to substitute that in here. So I have f of 5. We're going to write our f function out, parentheses for the x, and then I'm going to substitute in my 5. Oh, that does not look like a 5. That looks like craziness. 5. And I am left with 2.